Okay, we're up to popping the pistons out now, and I've turned the engine over so that number 1 and number 4 are down the bottom, which gives us good access to the conrod nuts. Now an 11/16 socket fits these. The conrods on this engine away from the camshaft have number 1, 2, 3 and 4 stamped both on the rod and on the cap. So we'll rattle these off. I won't do all of these, the process is the same for the whole 4. So once we have the rods off, normally you can just, and you're just loosening that off and that's it. And this is the first impression you get of the big end bearings. Now, look, all in all, that's not too bad. There's still plenty of meat there. Now, if we slide the slipper out, what we're looking for on the back of the slipper is an oversize or a standard or something like that, so we know if the crank's ever been ground. 311, 31171. So look, it appears to be a standard bearing. That's how you could read it there. So yeah, look, we're presuming that this is a standard bearing. It looks to be a standard bearing and it doesn't look to be too bad. Now the crank that goes on, actually it feels nice and smooth too, so that's a good thing. So the caps here, you can see the number 1 that's been stamped into the cap there. So what we need to do now, always keep the rods and the caps in the same order. Now the conrod bolts want to come out on this, so that's no worries, we'll just get them out of the way. And with a worn engine, this should just slide down. So I've got a bit of broomstick I use for all this. So that actually feels like it's got a bit of tension on the bore still. I'll put my knee under the block there to catch it. And there we go. Now the top ring's okay, the bottom ring is in half a dozen bits. And it's quite rusty down there. I think it might have had some water in it some stage in its life. You can see a little bit of rust on the piston down here. But yeah, the second compression ring is broken. The third one's a segmented ring. The rest looking not too bad. It's a bit baked on here. I wouldn't mind betting it's been a little bit warm some stage in its life. We'll pop number 4 out and just have a look at that while we're going. Bearing's good just the same. Conrod bolts are dropped. And we'll just drop this rod out. There's the drops. Okay, so we have a broken ring with a bit of rust around the edge of it. Top ring, oh look at that. The whole land on the piston's missing. Second ring's broken. Wonder if look at that top ring, it's just falling apart. There's big hunks coming out of the piston, so that would certainly cause a bit of blow by. All right, let's get the others out. I'm a bit keen now. Bit keen to have a look. I was only going to show you a couple, but bugger it, we'll go the whole 9 yards, eh? Crank looks good again. A little bit of rubbish in that, nothing major. I haven't had to clean the lip off the bore. The bore doesn't feel all that bad, but we'll just see. So we have broken rings on number 3. The piston's not damaged like on number 4. And on number 2, you'll see why there's no compression. That last one I didn't have to tap at all really. It was just my broomstick, so. Okay, and here's number 2. Number 2 has broken rings once more and a hunk missing out of the piston. It's fairly new. The bits out of the piston, if you look on the edge, they don't look like they've been gone all that long. And like Paul said, it was running okay. You can see just on that there, it's quite shiny. Maybe from wearing up and down too, but we're getting bits of broken ring out everywhere. So, well, that's not such a worry. I will roll the bore over now. I just bought another one of these engine stands from here in Forbes today, so it'll be here in a week or two hopefully. And you can see rust marks where the pistons have been, particularly number 1. So I'll try and get the camera around and we'll give you a bit of a look at that. Okay, there's a rust around the top of the bore here. The rest isn't all that bad. I'll see if I can get a bit better light in the bore for you. There's a little bit of rust down in there. But look, all in all, there's hardly a lip there. Like, oh, there's a little bit here. You're not getting a very good view down there, are you, really? Anyway, the bore's quite good considering what it's been there. You can see it's sort of shiny a bit down the side there. That's that's glazed, so there's no hone marks left much. And it feels like the top of that liner is just under the bore, under the top of the deck. I think it's supposed to be under by a little, but yeah, that there, you can see where the piston has been stuck, I think. That's quite a rusty mark, and it's not from me, that one. Not from me washing it. So it's had a bit of water got in the exhaust or something somewhere. So there you go. That's why she had a heap of blow-by.